Hi, everyone. This is Andrea Lowe and Sandhya Karki here from Social Impact Studio Consulting, and we're really excited to talk a little bit about our values as a company. And today we're going to start with our first value, which is respect. And when we talk about respect, we respect all individuals, including staff, volunteers, clients, and members of our communities and the communities that we work with. We will treat every person that we encounter with respect, kindness, and courtesy, which they deserve simply because they exist. And that's how we define respect here at Social Impact Studios. So I'm going to actually turn it over to Sandhya to share a little bit of how and why respect is so important to her, but then also how we use that in our work here at Social Impact Studio.
Hi everyone, I'm Sandhya Karki and I work as a health data architect at Social Impact Studio. And I'm very excited to chat with Andrea about what these values mean to us and how they show up in our work. So for me, respect starts with listening. So in our work, we may bring like research or data expertise, like so many niche topics or like niche skills. But I think the respect appears in like small actions, right? Like responding thoughtfully, honoring people's time, giving credit, using accessible, language, being patient. So all of these things kind of like contributes towards respecting each other. Respect also means recognizing that every person has value regardless of their position, experience, education, ability, or background, right? I feel like respect needs to be treated in a very human level. Even though we're like working professionally, we have to like respect each other as a person as first and then professionally second. So that's what respect for me is, Andrea.
Oh, thanks for sharing. I feel like that is so key. I feel like you mentioned so many key points there. And one of the things that I was thinking about is why it's so important to respect everyone, regardless of their age and where they're coming from, their languages and things like that, because everyone has a level of expertise that they're bringing to this work. One of the things that I feel like is so great about our work here is that we're focused on community, and we recognize communities are made up of all sorts of people. So even I would say like a 10-year-old would be able to offer, some valuable insights on a program or a service or an activity that they may be participating in. And we should be able to value that and respect that as well.
Yes, for sure. Yes. I mean, community is built through relationship, and then relationships are like built through like respect. So I feel like it's very important from the community side as well. Yes.
Exactly, exactly. And so one of the other things that I think about when I think of respect as well is that like when we're thinking about it, it's like every individual. So that's like with each other, as staff members, with people who may be volunteering, or interns, with our clients, even just members of our own personal communities, just thinking that, even though, we're here, we're working our job for, 9 to 5 or whatever, like thinking about how respect kind of extends out to like just people that we have in our lives because we each, are going about our days outside of work too. So like, I mean, so one of the things that I think of too when it comes to respect is it's not just at work, but also at home too. And then it also like kind of like translates back to work because we're actively doing it all the time.
Exactly. And like, at the end of the day, like everybody wants to feel like or like be treated like respectfully, right? So how you want to be treated, like you gotta like do that the same for the other person too. So I feel like it's like kind of like mutual thing as well. And then like respect, I mean like being respectful and then treating somebody respect fully is very important. Like, we as a human in like society that we like live in, and then like in today's world, day and time, like where there is like so much thing like happening. So I feel like it's very important to kind of like be mindful about like the words we're speaking to other person, like, like our might to be mindful about our action if it's like hurting somebody, so like, being respectful from like that side as well, and being very, very mindful about like, our own actions, our own voices, our own tone, our language. It's very important in today's world. So yes, I mean, in like social impact studio, I feel like we treat each other very respectfully, right? I've always had very good experience, better experience. I'm always like learning, small tips and tricks on like how I can do like something better or like respectfully, from you, Andrea. So I feel like for me, like my experience when it comes to like, being treated respectfully, and then like me trying to like, do the same for like my team and like for the external organization, I feel like I try, at least I like strive towards that. So yeah, and then that's like my goal and like my motto as well, like, I'm being always mindful and then like trying to like do that from my side as well, not
Mhm,
just from the
mhm,
receiving end.
mhm. Yeah, yeah. And because I feel like if we receive it, it's also easy to give it. But then also recognizing, to your point, like we're always trying. Like I think it's something that we're constantly learning to practice. We're learning, like I know there's times that I'm like, oops, that was not I made a mistake. Oops. But then being able to recognize, okay, I might have hurt someone here or I might have done something wrong. How can I make this right? Let me be, come up to them. Let me share with them, hey, this sounded like you were upset with me or maybe something else. And then being able to apologize and make things right, I think is also key too. I think one of the things that I feel like we both kind of shared is that we're not perfect, but but at the same time, by keeping these things in mind, we're able to really continue to really embody this through our work and through our lives also.
Yeah, yes, and sometimes it might be like unintentional, like like my like words or like the way I'm like saying certain things because I'm like from different backgrounds. So I might not be aware of like the the cultural aspect of like saying some like words and like things like that. But I feel like always going back, because I feel like when you like say something differently, or when when you are like receiving something different, I mean like you always feel it, like you did a little bit like, okay, that was a little bit like, oh, then I feel like it's very important to kind of like go back and then like be like, hey, I think like, like just like apologizing or like explaining, where it was coming from or things like that. It's very, very important. And yeah, so that's, yeah, so that is, that's that's like a whole different umbrella, right? Like it's like a whole different umbrella, and we are like human, and we're also like evolving every day, and we're learning things, so there's like so many ways, it's like never ending process too, right? Yeah.
hmm Yeah. Yeah. I feel like one of the things I love to say is that, you keep on learning until you're no longer alive. So
Exactly.
like as long as you're living, you're still learning. So I feel like we're always constantly learning and getting better, hopefully, at things like values of respect and other values, not only that we share as a company, but that as we hold as individuals. So thinking about that, I guess I'm going to turn, just kind of open it up to our audience. Would love to hear in their comments how they see respect, what it means to them, and how they embody it, how you all embody it every day. And just really thank you for being here to listen to this value of respect. And hopefully you'll listen to our other videos on our other values. We have a total of 5 that are for our company, and we look forward to diving into those a little bit further. Thank you both. Thank you all, and see you all soon.
Thank you.